Hello everybody and welcome to not really a new video, more a redoing of an old video because the ranking I did previously has now been age restricted. I perhaps got thought too much because I think looking back I did use to swear more back then. And I'm now realising that was 4 years ago. The original one came out 4 years ago. It's wild. Um, and I'm also sorry that I didn't release this on the 23rd. I was about to say yesterday, come film this on the 24th. I'm not sure when this is coming out, but yeah, sorry I didn't get this out earlier. So I've not uploaded more. But ranking the 15 Doctors this time, and now I can rank it more accurately because I've now been able to take a better view of Jodie Whittaker's era. And I've taken 13th Doctor because I'm going to decide this now. I'm ranking them entirely based on the characterization of the Doctor, not like slightly on the performances, but again, the actors don't have much to say on like creative decisions. I mean, some Doctors, it's a complicated matter. I'll probably talk about it during this video. But for now, I'm just going to start the ranking off with 15, the Ruth Doctor. Again, not Joe Martin's fault. It's just we didn't get to see enough of the Doctor to actually make not enough of the Doctor was seen to make accurate judgments about how good the characterization was, and B, it's attached to a weird retconning plot line. Again, I think people have been dunking on the time as children of the plot line for last couple of years now. I could probably join in, but what's gonna add? It's not. I don't like it personally. I think it was an unnecessary addition. I think trying to make the Doctor more godlike was a mistake Moffat era also made, but still, it's like the Doctor's just some person who chose to help. I think there's an oversimplification, yes, but trying to make them seem like just a really important figure is like a bit much. And I think, so 14th to the 13th Doctor, it's unfortunate that I have to rank her this low. I think back when she originally aired as the Doctor, I said this could work out. People would be quite cool. It's just unfortunately the writing wasn't there, and whilst other Doctors were able to incorporate part of their personality and also watch a bit of older Who to understand it better, there was just miscommunication between Chris and the rest of the crew. I think that's the problem with it. It's just miscommunications and kind of going. I think there is an interview that exemplifies it quite well. I think people are aware of this interview as going, it's Jodie and Chris say great opposite things, but I think the fact that they really messed up the characterization of the Doctor with going anti-gun is not what the Doctor is. The Doctor is anti-violence. The Doctor is just never carry a gun. It's just never use it to hurt people. And that's the thing Joe's Doctor simply don't use a gun. Just find a different way of killing someone. Kablam is a prime example of the Doctor's characterization is so mixed. Oh, Kablam, I could tell I think I originally defended it. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I watched my Series 11 videos. I may have to revisit those as well. I might do it. Maybe next year or this year I'll do a video on the Jodie Whittaker as a whole, but it's just unfortunate. I really wanted the female Doctor to work out and be really good. I genuinely wanted to be good, but they kept the weird morality, the double standards, episodes in Kablam and Arachnids in the Ook. I think such a shit joke. I think it's just no, do this instead. No, and I'm also in Arachnids in the UK, we could have just dropped them off at Meta List 3, and that would have been quite nice, full circle. 13 and 12, I put the 6th and 7th Doctors just because a lot of people this is where the era kind of tapered off, and again, Colin Baker and Theresa McCoy aren't at fault with this. Just kind of the show kept changing hands, there was a weird spin of direction, and I think Also, this is when the characterization of the Doctor became more arrogant and self-aggrandized. I think a lot of people dislike that in comparison to Peter Davison's more kind nature and Tom Baker's more goofy, funny nature. I think there was some complexity with both those Doctors. I feel like Colin Baker gave some amazing performances, especially in Trial of the Time Lord, and I feel like Sylvester McCoy gave some good performance. I've not seen much of Sylvester McCoy, but again, like this could have been really good, but avoided just kind of let down because like again, there's always behind the scenes stuff, and that's just unfortunate. At number 11. Please don't hurt me for this. I'm putting the First Doctor just because I'm not really a fan of his character. I do like the arc he goes through, these slowly mellows throughout the era, but it is like the start of Doctor Who. They're still finding their feet, I understand, and there's a lot you have to pop to William Hartnell for starting this amazing TV series off, and he did such an amazing job. I will admit that. But I think, again, also, I've not seen much of the 60s era Who. I will say that as a disclaimer before anyone gets too angry with me. If I saw more of the First Doctor, I'd probably rank them higher and have more to say. So I just apologise for not. Yeah, again, 60s era is difficult to find, but at some point I will go through and watch more of the First Doctor. Number 10, I'm putting the War Doctor. I think I slightly said like the whole retconning thing and adding of like, oh, doctors before this Doctor. It's like kind of going, why have ranked him slightly lower than you would expect him to be? At the same time, it's an amazing performance, and what in comparison to the Ruth Doctor, the Time was more shrouded in mystery, where I feel like a lot more of the time it is put out there. They go, no, you see the First Doctor stealing the TARDIS, like William Hartnell's Doctor, and like it's made sure that William Hartnell's Doctor was the first one that started the adventure, and I think there's a difference between like the Doctor in between these two and the Doctor before any of them. So there's two distinct, but still it's like the weird retconning, and also the showing of the timeline I'm kind of iffy on, but that's a different matter. I still think the character arc he goes through is amazing, and John Hurt's performance of him is amazing. But also, we don't get to see enough of it. So, like, I can't rank him too highly in comparison to other Doctors. So that would feel weirdly cheap to, like, put him too high. So, fair enough. I love the 50th. Does someone think... I still love it. Now, number 9, Patrick Troughton. Again, not seen enough of the 60s to make a good judgment. I've seen slightly more Patrick Troughton there than I have William Hartnell, but I really like the second Doctor. I find his like goofy nature quite charming, and I do love the band between the third, first, and second Doctors in the 3 and 5 Doctors. I think that's quite well done. And speaking of number 8, the third Doctor, John Pertwee. I really like the hero Doctor. Again, 70s Doctor Who was amazing. It's pretty good. Like 70s, early 80s, like John Burt, 3rd, 4th, 5th, like 3 really good consecutive Doctors. I feel like the third Doctor had a bit more of an arrogant like streak, and like interactions with really felt a bit standoffish. Again, like I guess I prefer the more goofy tones of like the Doctor, which is odd because I think that's one of the reasons I ranked a certain Doctor lower than others, which he had moved up in the rankings, by the way. This is one of the other reasons I want to do a re-ranking, because some Doctors have dropped, some Doctors have raised up. But yeah, the third Doctor did drop a couple places, because I think, like, watching back, I feel like the way he, like, treats Brigadier, but like, then, like, it's quite funny at the same time. On to number 7, the 8th Doctor. I think that he's higher than this time than he was in my previous list, but I still know who I'm going to annoy by not putting him first. And I think that's funny, personally. Just going, that's the thing. I should state, all my opinions are mine. If you have a different opinion, that's brilliant. That's your opinion. And it's just as equally as valid as mine. that's how opinions work. But yeah, I have slowly but surely warmed to the Doctor Who the movie. It's like it makes some bizarre choices. I think this is where I think part of the reason I rank him quite low, even like in this, is he started off the trend of like the more romantic Doctor, which I think is an odd thing. Where thinking, like it's like the companion Doctor romances. Some work, some don't. I got kind of sick of them by like the Smith era. I think because the Doctor is an alien. I think whilst the Eighth Doctor went more into his human side, which I did enjoy. I mean, it did go more into his human side, which was later retconned. That's another retconning I don't like. Him being half human, not getting rid of the half human thing. Him being half human. That was a weird thing. Why did they write that? I'm still, but yeah, I think it's more suave natured and very enjoyable. Again, there's something to enjoy about all of these Doctors that I really like. I think, you know, yeah. Again, it's like trying to like boil that. Also, his performance in Night of the Doctor and Power Doctor were great. He is like kind of going. I wish I listened to more of the audio stuff. I should at some point. Apparently, yeah, his audio and book stuff is very good. Honestly, think people hate on the movie too much. Give it a second chance. Yes, it's goofy, but a lot of Doctor Who is. It's like they give us the Candyman. Don't stop it like the seriousness of Doctor Who. It's like going. Yeah. Anyway, on to number 6, the 11th Doctor. I'm never going to rank this high enough, am I? Because there's still going to be people going, oh, geez, ranked him too low. Because, yeah, some people, again, I will have ranked some people's favourite Doctors lower or middle of the list. And that's okay. I personally don't like the Doctors, but the fact that you love them is brilliant. Again, that's how opinions work. We have different opinions, but they're both equally valid. No, I was about to say something there. I wanted to trying to think which Christmas special should I shit on. I thought, no, they're all quite enjoyable actually. Again, Christmas specials are good. Divulging for like back to the 11th Doctor. I ranked him quite low on my last list. I'm here to correct that. I've slowly warmed to him over the years. I think rewatching the 5th series 5, words are difficult. Yeah, rewatching series 5, I thought, yeah, characterization quite good. I think it is part of the reason I disliked it. Again, I thought it was too goofy and crazy to be more darker, grittier 9 and 10. I realised, yeah, the reason they're doing that, slowly showing him getting over the time war, going, it makes sense, and he can still do the darker scenes. However, like I mentioned earlier in the video, trying to make him an all-important figure is stupid, and I think that's so stupid. I think a lot of people could point out going, oh yeah, no, he's the meaning of everything. And like the silence on the whole mystery box stuff got too much where it's like going, oh, I'll find out next season. It's like going, well, I prefer more episodic self-contained stories. I think Moffat was quite bad with not having that self-contained story. I think when he was head writer. Anyway, into the top 5. Number 5, Pete Davidson. I think I might have ranked him higher last list, but I guess he's dropped a few places now. I think he is quite this I was always enjoyable to watch. And I do have I'm not sure, but I've slowly but surely got on those episodes of Duty, and they are in the earlier season of him with I guess the 3 companions, Adric, Nissa, Tegan, were quite good. I guess it kind of tapered off, and I didn't enjoy I think I don't want to say it became less interesting, but I think some people thought he was a bit cold with Adric's death, but I think his characterization of grief was really interesting. How he went, oh, quickly, let's go on to the next adventure, and almost distract himself. I'm feeling it's quite interesting to see how they dealt with the grief of magic. And again, like the Doctor dealing with the grief can be really interesting. I think I didn't quite like how they dealt with the Doctor's grief for Amy and Roy initially, but like looking back and going, oh, it's quite interesting because again, yeah, the Doctor, like when you realise this Doctor, by the time we get to the 11th Doctor, he's lost quite a bit. But they're going, this was as having the first companion death. They're going, I think his characterization of grief was quite interesting and it made him feel more alien. Anyway, on to number 4, the 10th Doctor. I don't know where I ranked him last time, but I think he's dropped some places. I'm really going to upset some fanboys with this. Fanboys and just fans in general. Sorry for saying fanboys. That was exclusionary and I apologise. But yeah, I'm going to upset some fans with this one. And you know what? I don't care. So I used to be quite a Tennant fanboy myself. I think it made it more difficult for me to enjoy the Smith era. But over the years, I've kind of seen like melodramatic. I don't think melodramatic. Because I guess he was still doing Time War, and I think he brought some brilliant edge to the series. I think his interaction, like the way he treated Martha, I feel like was harsh. Again, how the fans treated Martha was even worse. How Martha was a good companion. I'm sticking by that statement. But yeah, I think I do really like the 10th Doctor. I think he's the reason I love Doctor Who. I will ever love Russell T Davies and Dave Tennant for having me introduced to the theory and slowly absorb it and fall in love with it. The reason people don't like the End of Time is because it kind of like ruins like his personality, where they're kind of going him not being the way they treated regeneration in the End of Time felt a bit off, and like his reaction to it was over the top, and that's part of the reason he's kind of dropped in the rankings. But then again, like Dave Tennant's performance, especially in episodes like School Reunion, are brilliant. Like the way you can convey emotions with like just a single look, brilliant. Number 3, the 12th Doctor. Most people rank him quite low, but I'm ranking him high. He has only slowly become more and more my favourite Doctor, and that is because he's brilliant. I think Peter Capaldi's monologues have a big thing to do with it, but I think episodes like Oxygen, No Time for Outrage, it's like used well for humour and as well as a good characterization of the Doctor. The fact the Doctor does not stand up for predatory and bigotry at any like time. He stands against it all the time. I think it's quite an interesting characterization. Again, Oxygen, his anti-capitalist stance, which Kablam completely failed at. I think I've talked about this with friends where Kablam was so close to being a good episode until the end. But yeah, Oxygen stuck the landing. There was World Enough in Time of the Doctor Falls, one of the best series finales in the modern era. Series 10 is a great series. The people that talk badly about it have their opinion, but I strongly disagree with it. I was about to say objectively wrong, but again, opinions are a factor. Oh my god, not this. Opinions, the internet has ruined forums and discussions. It just has. Anyway, yeah, I really think a lot of people are sleeping on the 12th Doctor. How brilliant he is! He's so good. He's so amazing. I think it's like his relationship with Clara shows like how toxic the dynamic between companion and Doctor can be. And I think that's interesting. Like I think comparing it to Rose's in season 2 and Clara's in season 9, like. They're both an example of how the travelling with the Doctor can slowly, like make your awareness of danger less and less to the point where you're constantly doing a low. I think, yeah, that's an interesting thing. I think they rushed to empower the Doctor, but the idea of like a companion, like how the companion's lives are always in danger, I think interesting. And again, the Doctor's like feeling of loss and grief character-wise in Twice Upon a Time is brilliant, because like at this point he's like lost so much. He's just like, no more of it. Like the fact that he just refuses to regenerate, and the entire thing is like him trying to learn, like he can still help people. I think even if it's just one person, he's willing to go another round. And I think his speech at the very end, well, his speech not again, his monologues are brilliant. He's based, he's brilliant. Go back and watch the 12th Doctor Zero. It's much better than you remember, probably. And I'm going to jump on to number 2, the 9th Doctor. For some reason, some people skip a season. Series is classic series in modern era. Don't make that mistake. Yeah, some people will skip a series. I don't know why. He's so interesting. His like guilt about the Time War and him letting go of that. And I think I talked about it again. His like unwillingness to pull the trigger and destroy all the dogs, knowing all the story of humanity, and him choosing to be a coward rather than kill it shows like his development from episode. And I think it reflected quite well against End of the World, where he just lets Cassandra die. He slowly like regains that like kindness he had. I think it's brilliant. Anyway, I think there's so Ninth Doctor is so good. I love this series. I love talking. I love Doctor Who. I'm a Doctor Who fan. I'm so glad he's doing Big Finish now. I'm so sad that he got treated poorly during the filming of it. Honestly, I would love more of the Ninth Doctor. I think the world's doing the Doctor brilliantly in the anger. He has those like goofy jolly moments like in Boomtown. The humour of the Ninth Doctor era is good. As well as that, again, the human Doctor can be quite good at times. Like Boomtown is hilarious. It is comedy gold. Like just the theme of like, Doctor, like when they're going, just tell her the Doctor's here to see her. Doctor, no, just the Doctor. So, and you just hear the teacup shouting, like she's climbing out the window, isn't she? Christopher Eccleston was so good for the role. He played the funny stuff well, he played serious stuff well. I think there's one Doctor left. It's hard for you the pick is for number 1. He was first last time, he's first this time. It's Tom Baker. It's a 4th Doctor. He made the show what it is. There are some Doctors who absolutely made the show what it is, and he's one of them. Christopher Eccleston was a big part of the revival. I should have mentioned that. 4th Doctor is my favourite. I love the range he has of like serious and goofy. Like I think he does the goofy quite well. Like I like your butler. He's so violent. Like City of Death. He's like brilliant. But then again, I have to mention it. His Destiny of Snow. I was about to think, what joke episode can I mention? Oh yeah, Pirate Planet. I think there's some really good things with it in Pirate. Key to Time is brilliant. I love Key to Time. It's my favourite season of Doctor Who. I think Series 10 is a close murder, but my favourite is Key to Time. But yeah, I think his every you could see again it's with tiniest little of emotion going. Also him not wanting to kill the Daleks, in terms of the Daleks and refusal to. And it's so interesting because it shows the true complexity of the Doctor. I think is brilliant, and it's able to do it in one speech, and the fact that speech is still referenced today by Doctor Who shows it's so good. It's so good, and and his ethical dilemma, and again 7 years on that show. Those 7 years he dedicated will forever be reflected. I think he's watching Tom Baker got me into classic Who, and honestly, he is the best. He's iconic. The fact that people think of the scarf and the one most iconic symbol of Doctor Who, and the fact that people jelly babies while marathoning Doctor Who shows something about how amazing the fourth Doctor was, and he will be cemented as many people, including mine, as the best Doctor. But if you have a different favourite, that's perfectly fine, because in the end of the day, we're all Doctor Who fans. That's what, if I uploaded this on 23rd, this would be a meaningful message, but even if you've only watched the modern stuff, or if you've only watched like the couple seasons and only recently found the series, or if you've been watching since you were a young child and got scared by the gas mask children, my sister did, and I always used to say, I would wear the toy gas mask and I would use to scare her with it because I found that funny, because I'm a terrible human being. I've never confessed that. Anyway, back onto like the thing. But yeah, if you've been watching, if you've watched the classics, if you've listened to the audio, read the books, and you find like what level of fan you are. You're a fan of Doctor Who. If you wear t-shirts and feathers in videos, if you don't make videos about it and just watch a couple episodes every now and again with your family, then you're that's the thing. No matter what Doctor you prefer, no matter how much you watch, you're welcome in the fandom, to me, in my eyes at least. There are some elitist Doctor Who fans, and I used to be one, but again, whatever your opinion is, whatever your favourite Doctor is, whatever your favourite monster is, we can all unite in our love for this show about a mad time travelling hero in a little blue box, just trying to make a difference. I think that's a good way to end the video. A couple of days late, but happy 59th anniversary to an amazing sci-fi show.